Reggie, we've heard so much about how selfless your group is. What's the sense of pride for you as a coach when not only do your receivers have as much production that they do in the passing game, but they're also so trusted as blockers like we saw in Berlin with, AP blocking 60 yards downfield, and obviously the trust that Jonathan has in those guys?
Don't get it twisted. They want the rock. They want the ball, but they do understand, like, if we block on the perimeter and help JT get, some good runs in, then that's just going to open it up for the pass. You know what I mean? So you're not going to let JT continuously just, get 150 yards on you. So you got to put an extra guy in the box. And when you put an extra guy in the box, you know that the opportunity for a pass to come is going to be high.
And you have to be complimentary. I mean, that's one of the reasons this offense has been so successful this season, is maintaining that.
No doubt. And that was the goal, right? That was the goal, in having defenses to pick their own poison, But, no, we take pride in blocking. I challenge those guys all the time. I get on them when they don't block. I tell them to do their job, right? Because at the end of the day, like, if it's a pass play and JT don't block for you, you're going to be pissed. You know what I mean? So you might as well block for him. You know what I mean? So, it all works hand in hand. But, they do understand that part of the game, and they take pride into it.
Were you a willing blocker?
Absolutely. Google me, man. Google me. Look that up. Yeah. One thing I tell them all the time, I'm not going to ask you to do nothing I ain't do. Right? So, I did take pride there. Like, when I first got here, one of my best friends was Edgerrin James. I want to see him succeed, right? And then next person came in was Joe Adai. That was my roommate in college. In training camp. You know what I mean? So, like, I want to support them dudes. I want them dudes to get their shine on at the same time, and whenever it's a pass play, you better block for me. That's just the way it goes.
With Alec, how has he earned opportunities to catch passes on not just the deep stuff this year?
Just his hard work, right? For the last couple years, Alec has always stressed, I don't want to just be a one-trick pony, right? He wanted to work on his intermediate routes, and he went at it, full steam ahead. And he's been working on it and working on it and working on it, and now, it's coming to light. I told him about 3 weeks ago, three or 4 weeks ago, I said, you know what? Your route tree is starting to come complete now. You know what I mean? And he's worked at it, and he understands teams are not going to continue to just let him beat them deep. So he has to stress on those intermediate routes, and it's coming to light.
He had that one in week 2 against Surtain. It was that 3rd and 6 where needed those yards to get the field goal, and he kind of beat Surtain over the middle. Is that one of just an example, like, his growth?
Yes, and the thing about it is, he's always had that ability, but it just wasn't as polished as he would tell you. His successful as he was in college, their playbook wasn't that extensive as far as route running, and that's no shade on him. It's just the way it was, but like I said, he's worked on it, and whenever you can complete a ball against one of the premier corners, it just builds your confidence, so he's always had the ability to do it. It's just him locking in on it and doing it, and now we all seeing the results.
He still leads the league in receptions or yards per reception. What makes a special deep ball catcher? Because it seems like his 50-50 balls are more, 80-20.
There it is. It's the 50-50 balls. Not everybody can do that, right? Alec does a great job of displaying his volleyball background, right? He getting up and get the ball, and I think that's what separates him from everybody else. That was the number one trait with him coming out that really opened my eyes, right? It was his 50-50 balls, 41-inch vert. He can run. He has some attributes that a lot of people don't have, right? So that's the difference. I mean, a lot of guys get opportunities on deep balls, but the thing with Alec is just don't overthrow him. You know what I mean? Like, if you give him an opportunity, he'll high point the ball and he'll be able to bring it in 9 times out of 10. And just like the last game in Berlin was a great example of that.
He talked about expanding his game, but he said he's still, you call them superpowers, that his superpower is the deep ball.
Yeah.
So he still wants to be known as that with another part to his game?
Absolutely. I mean, and you say superpowers, I always call them boys, I always say y'all are you're an Avenger, right? What's your strength? His strength is his speed, right? His speed, so run. right? Don't try to finesse. Don't try to do. Just run, right? And whenever he gets, his gait is a lot longer than other guys, right? So whenever he gets going, it becomes difficult to cover, right? So that's an example of him being better in intermediate routes because he gets guys running. And if you can stop on a dime, those guys will continue running. You know what I mean? So, that's his strength, right? Just run. Just like pitch strength is, he's strong. Use your size. You know what I mean? So,
Was he a Wolverine? What would he be?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know. But no, it's one of those things where just use your strength and don't try to be anybody else. It's always be who you can afford to be, and that's all it is.
On a different note, when it comes to Carly, she's stepping into the spotlight this year, but you've known her for years, whether as a player and as a coach. But how have you seen just that development throughout the years and getting ready for this moment that she's in now to be the principal owner for the
man, it's just it's been exciting, man, just to see her locking in and from day one to now how far she's come, right? The beauty of it for me is you got to be on your heels because she'll be at practice and she'll come to you and basically quiz you on about what this is, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to be the guy that don't know what it is, you know what I mean? So just the pop quizzes that she can give you, it just tells you how locked in she is, and I don't know if she knows it or not, but I know I need to know it. So just to see her growth, just in understanding the offense and understanding the way the game is played, has been awesome.
What do you make?
Last one here.
What do you think Jim Irsay would make of this team? Just jumping back to Super Bowl contention, top of the AFC, having an offense that's firing on all cylinders. I know you spent a lot of time with him over the last couple of decades. What do you think he would make of this team?
I think it's the vision that he always had, in his telescope, right? He expected this team to be, very competitive and be successful, being able to play together, play for one another. I think we'd be proud. In his eyes, he think we should be undefeated, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But it's it's awesome to see everybody coming together, playing for him, making this a great season. So hopefully we can finish the right way.
You guys are still wearing the JI patches,
yes.
the hats. You see those all over
still
the facility.
Still wearing that. If it was up to me, it'd be there forever.
Yeah.
Right.